And disappointed about the results of the performance of both?
Well, firstly, I'm disappointed about the result. Obviously, these FA Cup games are a revenue that the football club needs. Obviously, supporters come down and pay good money. They want to see winning football, and I analyse the game now when you've taken 10 minutes to think about it, and the 2 goals that were gifted have cost us the game. Droylsden come into most football clubs and they outpass people because they've got good players, but really there wasn't too many more shots on goal from them, as much as the people will say, well, they outpassed us and they did this against us and all the rest of it. We gifted them 2 goals. They didn't have to work for either of those goals, and in the end we get one in the 89th or 88th or whatever it is, and that really should have been the winner.
As manager and a former defender, Darren, talk about those goals. One was from a corner. The guy who scored, he got a header which came against the post, against the bar, and he got the second header and scored. And the second one was a free kick. Keeper good save. Nobody there to tidy up as the same centre forward came in and put the ball in.
Yeah, so from really disappointed, as you say, from being a defender. It's something that I talk about a lot to the back four and also the midfielders. When we all go, we all have even the forwards on a defensive corner. We all have a duty to do. It's all written out for them to see. And it's a case of then you have to mark your man, and then when free kicks come in, how many times do we see defenders standing still, attackers going and popping in second balls? There was one Wednesday night, was it? I can't remember who it was, in one of the European games, and it's wrong, and that's what's killed us. The second goal especially. I mean, the first one, he stood on his own, he has a header, it comes back off the bar, and he still stood on his own. That's from myself and Viv's point of view, it is, as all the fans stood watching it, it's just unthinkable, because how does that happen when you've got 5 or 6 lads around there? The lads know who should have marked them, and I'm not going to castigate somebody on radio now. They know who it is, that we've spoken about it. Everybody's given a job to do, as I say, at set pieces, and the last few weeks we've been pretty good at it, but the 2 goals, as I said, have cost us the game today, basically, without playing particularly well, but kept going, kept plugging away, got that 89th minute goal that we should be talking about as the winner now, because there was really nothing in the game apart from Droylsden spraying it around like they can do.
Am I wrong to say, Darren, having just said what you've just said about the goals we gave away, the fact that we missed Johnny Wright big style?
Well, from a point of view of creating chances, we didn't create too many, but then if Johnny was on the field, we want Johnny on the end of things, not creating things. We get down the flank, etc., and we hit the first man too many times a game. We put sessions on in training this week that were designed for that. You come out onto the field of play, and then the players do what they do. They make the decisions on how they're going to cross the ball and what style they're going to use to cross it, and too many times today we picked the wrong option. So Johnny would have got frustrated being in that penalty area, waiting for those balls to come in. So again, that's something else we've mentioned about, and something we'll have to go and work on again in training and improve on. Otherwise you're not going to be able to move away from the situation you're in. Generally we've been in most games this year, we've let ourselves down, front to back. We've gifted goals away because we haven't taken our chances, or when we've got in good areas we haven't shown that little bit of guile, that little bit of composure to pick the right pass, pick the right cross that scores goals. And at the end of the day, we know that goals win games.
Happy with the work rate today, because that's been increasing over the last 3 matches, I thought.
Yeah, it's been good. Their attitude is great. I don't have a problem with that. There's been certain times where we've had to kick a few backsides, but overall I just think that if you are giving goals away like that, then no matter how mentally strong you are as a footballer, that is going to eat away at you. So we've got to address that and stop that. But as soon as that whistle goes, this is not me passing the buck in any shape or form. Players have to stand up and be counted and take responsibility for their roles. And we didn't follow things in on corners and free kicks, and it's cost us an FA Cup for another year.
Disappointment then. How disappointing, Darren, is it only to be able to put out 3 subs on a cup tie when you could have had 7 on the bench?
Yeah, that's frustrating. You try and bring in so many players and suspensions, and you have to move people out, and then sickness overnight, and carrying 2 bad injuries. Then you lose Gareth after 30 minutes. He's pretty much done the last 15 minutes, struggling. He says to us. So again, this is something you come up against. It's not an issue. With what we played, with the starting 11 that were out there today, if we hadn't given those 2 silly goals away, we'd have won this 1-0.
What about I know you've been trying to get players in during the week. Think there'll be any progress during next week?
Well, I'm hoping so, but you know, we've got to just keep working with what we've got until that circumstance happens. You know, we're still looking all the time. It is difficult to get players to come, and if you're not winning matches, if you're sat top of the league, people will come here. You would think, but at the moment it is tough to bring people in. But yeah, we keep trying. We'll make some phone calls again next week. But the 11 that are picked have got to do their job, so that I don't need to look, or if I do look and people come in to play alongside other people, your shirt doesn't get lost. You're not the one that has to give your shirt up for someone else coming in, and you know, the goals we give away today are obviously, again, as I say, are disappointing. That's what I'm most flat about, is that, you know, Droylsden played very well and passed the ball around well, which is what they do, but they didn't have to earn the goals today.
What about the game against Droylsden last time? That was in the league, this was in the FA Cup. I would suspect, take the win in the league rather than the defeat in the cup, really.
The chairman might say that if we'd have won today and then gone on and won 3 more cup games, then we'd be delighted with the FA Cup run. But you know, yeah, the winning, any win is a great win. So you know, we need to get a few more points on the board now. So this now enables us to concentrate on that now, and you know, by Christmas we need to be pushing into the top half of the table so that we can have a decent run in.
Darren, thanks very much.
Cheers, thanks.